Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, today we're going to be talking about why queer people might not go to therapy or why they don't go to therapy. And I've got like bullet points, I guess, that I've kind of like written out, which is explaining like different areas of why that might be and a bit of background because I feel like a bit of background is important, especially the person who is watching this isn't queer. So the first bullet point is kind of about the queer experience, the unique perspective and challenges related to sexual orientation and gender identity. And it involves self-discovery, acceptance, confronting societal norms, and navigating prejudice, which is kind of like pulled from the internet and like a bit of AI writing, but I feel like it kind of like does describe what it's all about in a way. And I feel like one of like the biggest kind of insights into the queer experience would be like a website called Queering the Map, and how like basically you can like pinpoint a place where it might have some importance to you as a queer person and write an experience or story or feeling you have, and then it just lives on that website and anyone can see it and it's anonymous. So it's kind of just like a massive platform where anyone can talk about their experience and talk about it without any sort of judgment, which I find is like really sweet and kind of gives a place for people to talk about their stuff without anyone knowing, and it might even like inspire people. I don't know, but I find it very like sometimes it's quite sad as well. You need to go and see it. I can't really describe it properly, but it's just like the human queer experience from a lot of perspectives. I feel like meeting people who are similar to you and having a meaningful experience with them is like so much more profound than like two straight cis people meeting each other and having a meaningful experience. Because like this world, it's not nice to queer people, I'm not gonna lie. You have to struggle with grappling with your self-identity. I guess coming across people who are like you and kind of experience the same things and have gone through stuff that either you've gone through or might go through. It kind of is just so profound in a way, like, wow, I'm not alone in like this vast ocean of just heteronormativity. Some of that queer experience is about finding people like yourself and also like finding yourself as a person and what you really want to identify as. And just a tidbit for like people who are bigoted towards the LGBTQ plus community, especially if you think that nobody in your family is like queer, they definitely resent you and they will leave you the first chance that they get. And honestly, I think you would rather have someone in your family who's happy and able to be themselves than someone who's dead. Like, I'm going to be very frank. Like, I think it would be better if they were happy and in your life rather than dead. Okay. Everyone has a different story. Some people might only have a chapter or two, like how I feel kind of in a way. And some people have entire novels where they've been free to express themselves from like a very young age, which honestly, jealous, but very thankful that there are people in this world who can do that, especially in my generation. But like your story is kind of like your experience. Don't try and be someone else or like do things which you just do because, hey, like you can do things that you want to do it, but like don't do things that you really don't want to do, but just do it because you think it's part of the norm. Like, don't sit to norm. Be yourself. To be cringe is to be free. Okay. Alright. Whatever stage you're on in terms of coming out, I just want you to look back at your story and be proud and be like, yeah, I did that. Maybe it was a bit cringe or a bit weird, but I did that and I'm happy that I did that because it's made me the person I am now, which is how I kind of look at stuff in life. So a lot of people aren't out to their parents and they still live with them. And I don't really think you can heal from the trauma that your parents or family might cause you in terms of like them being like abusive, or you not be able to come out and be your true self because you're living with them. Like, you're confined in a space for most of the day where you have to live with them, and I guess like that struggle between like hiding your true self and not letting them find out is very, very hard. I'm not gonna lie. And like trying to get therapy from the same place that's actively harming you is very hard and is detrimental to your mental health. Going out of a therapy session, like going downstairs to get food and just instantly just all the negative energy you're receiving it as soon as like you went into a session where it was trying to help you, like it just feels like it's wrong. Growing up, you don't really get the same experiences as like your straight peers because like first of all, you might not know any queer people, and second of all, you're not out, so like getting to know any more queer people might like out yourself, and like if you don't want to do that, it's just hard to be like stuck in this world where you don't really think that nobody is like you. So when it comes to therapy, there is like quite a few problems that like cis people have and like queer people have, and like the difference in them, and how like I guess for like queer people was a bit like more added on. First, like access to gender affirming care is very difficult. Like there's a lot of hurdles and steps you have to go through, and it could cost a lot of money, and waiting times are very long, and like proof of dysphoria, even though like that is just in itself is a whole nother like kind of thing, which is just like weird. Like there's a lot of hurdles basically to like overcome to actually get access to the gender affirming care that you want. And like that's why I see people on like GoFundMe and stuff like trying to raise money for their gender affirming care because it's so expensive. And there's also like barriers like the fear of discrimination from like doctors, therapists, and like accessing specialized services as well to fit your needs is also quite hard. And trans individuals report more barriers to seeking help and more negative experiences due to discrimination than cisgender people. And I got this from this study that I will link in the description below, and I'll probably put like a little hyperlink to it at the bottom so that you can go check it out. Read the whole report if you want. I only like read the abstract, which like summarizes the whole report, so go have a look at it if you want to. So therapy is definitely like advertised on sites like YouTube and TikTok, and a main example is BetterHelp, but BetterHelp has many other problems with it. So BetterHelp had very steep prices. They paid actors or YouTubers for reviews, and they also sold data to Facebook. I feel like patients should really have a right to their data to be shared or to be kept confidential, and I think in like this kind of setting, I think confidentiality should be like the number one priority. There's also a whole host of unqualified therapists and people on social media who have documented their experiences with those aforementioned therapists, which I've researched on some of these stories and they sound so harmful and like...
How many years do you think it's going to be before we see a true crime documentary about BetterHelp?
No, because can we talk about it? Like, I did BetterHelp for about 3 weeks, and the straw that broke my back was when the therapist was in office for the first time. The last time was in her living room, and I was like, I'm just gonna believe no one else is there. As I log onto the video, she's talking to someone, and then just stops talking. It's like, hey, how are you? So let's get started. I'm like, someone is in there. So I thought the person had like left and closed the door. Like about halfway through the meeting, she gets up, walks out an open door, meaning there was no privacy, goes into the lounge of like the office, makes popcorn while I'm talking, and then comes back with me, like taking me with her through this whole journey of the office, sits down and is eating popcorn with her mouth full, just chewing. What?
And I'm gonna put up some like kind of quotes, not really, but like basically on like YouTube, professional YouTubers, they shared mental health struggles for like part of their ads, and basically came out that they were paid for each customer who signed up for their unique link, and it was sometimes up to $200 per person. So basically like profiting off their viewers' mental health issues, which is very sketchy. And like in terms of like the TikTok kind of side of it, people sharing like traumatic stories with their therapists, and the therapists just either fail to focus on the experience, or like trying to shield their book, or like therapists miss meetings, or just don't really care. Or like there was one where the therapist just started like making popcorn and eating it whilst like they were on call, and like how basically there was not really any sort of like confidentiality with like the room and like how it was just open the whole time. I feel like rule 101 of meetings, especially when it's confidential, is that behind the closed doors, you know? Like, give me a break. Give me a break. Like, I feel like most of the time with the YouTube stuff, like, you have like probably creators who are like LGBTQ plus who like would like do adverts on it, but like you don't really see adverts specifically catered towards like queer people unless you look for it. And that might not be safe for some people, especially if they're living at home, they don't have their own laptop, you know, their parents like track their web history. Like seeing that, it might not be safe for them. So it's just like kind of trying to reach those people, I guess, is like another barrier that people have to go through, like an extra one compared to like cis straight people. Therapists not understanding your point of view. So many like professionals like lack training, understanding to many health professionals lack the training and understanding to provide like the support that queer individuals need, like specific to their problems, and like it can result in like hesitancy to seek help, and also like kind of increases mental health issues within like the community, which is obviously like really bad. Even if you do find a therapist who isn't discriminatory and they want to help, like everyone who does therapy, like just everyone across the board can struggle to find therapists who like just finding someone who fits, really. And I feel like that's even harder for like queer people because like they're more likely to have problems outside the heteronormative world, and that kind of makes it so like finding that person who like does fit like lowers the pool by quite a bit, because like some therapists just don't understand your problems. Yeah. But I think that's really it in terms of like, you know, the background of like the queer experience and why like queer people don't go to therapy, you know, looking at studies and stuff like that. But I hope that has helped. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of like make this video because I haven't really made many videos about like queer issues. I feel like I should start doing that more because it is very helpful, and like talking about my own experience might be something I do in my later videos. But like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Peace. Hey everyone, thank you for watching my video. Just before the outro, I just want to say that I've made a buy me a coffee page, which is where you can donate money to me that I can use to upgrade my current setup. If you can't donate, that is completely fine. Just keep on watching my videos. Okay, thank you and peace.